Hello there, welcome to the first episode of the education series brought to you by Yaka. On today's episode, we are going to be talking about Waec. First things first, what is Waec? Waec means West African Examination Council, and this is the body responsible for the SSC, that's the Senior School Certificate Examination. The exam itself that Waec conducts is the WASC, that's WASSC, meaning West African Senior School Certificate Examination. It is an O level, O meaning ordinary, that means O level means ordinary level. This happens between April to June within this time frame. Now, these are a few things to know before you take the Waec examination. Point number one, when preparing for the Waec examinations, it is important that you get acquainted with the Waec syllabus as this allows you to prepare accordingly. Number two, when you're preparing for any examination at all, you must know how the examinations are being conducted. Waec requires students to register for about 9 subjects with maths and English as compulsory subjects. Some people might register for less than 9 subjects, depending on what they want to use the examinations for. Point number 3, Waec questions are categorized into objectives and theory, and some other subjects have practicals and others have orals. It depends on which subject, so make sure you do your research. Point number 4, this one is coming from my heart, from me to you. If you want to study for Waec, make sure that you study with past questions. How can you get these past questions? You can either go to your local bookstore or you go online and search for Waec past questions. This will help you exceedingly. What did I say? Exceedingly. Another thing to note about the Waec examinations is that it has 2 types, the Waec for schools and the private Waec. Now, this one is what I'm about to explain to you now, is the Waec for private. That's the private Waec. It's kind of like the same thing as the one I just talked about earlier. However, there are some small differences. One of the differences is that it is for people who are outside of the normal secondary schools. They want to take the exams outside of their secondary schools, or who maybe did not make all the subjects in the first one and they want to have a do-over and just touch up their results a little bit. So once again, it is similar to the first Waec that I just talked about. It is the same format. You still have to do the 9 subjects with math and English compulsory. You still have practicals and orals for some other subjects. The only major difference about this is that unlike the first one that I mentioned that happens between April to June, this one happens between October to December. Once again, the first one I mentioned happens between April to June. However, this one that I'm talking about, which is the private Waec, happens between October to December. Remember that. It is very similar to the first one. They're almost no different. But you should know that this one also exists. All right, guys, moving on. What can you use your Waec results for? Number one, if you want to enter into a Nigerian university, you will need your Waec results, as well as a UTME, which we popularly know as JAMB. Also, if you want to go to a school outside of Nigeria, but within West Africa, then you will also need your Waec result because, it's called West African Examination Council. So if you want to go to schools like in Benin, in Ghana, you will need your Waec result. All right, guys, these are just a few points. However, this one video does not suffice, so you have to still go and do your own research by yourself. With that, I say bye. See you on the next one.